You want to know the one thing that literally will kill anyone's business and network marketing? Doesn't matter how talented they are, doesn't matter how cool they are. This is the one thing that will literally put your business into the ground. It's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's episode. Hey, what's happening, my fearless networking friend, Todd Falcone? Welcome back. Okay, so yeah, a lot of times when I do these videos, it's based on experiences, conversations that I have with individuals. Like I'm on the phone all week long, all day long to different people in the network marketing space, whether it's top earners, people that need help, or C-level executives, pretty much all I talk to. And I had a conversation this last week with someone who, and this is not new. This is like Groundhog Day, actually. The situation where an individual had made significant money, made over $1 million in their tenure in this company, and unfortunately kind of laid back to a point where they, stopped recruiting, were showing up on Zooms, were showing up on team calls. They were, showing up for national events and, that's it. But they weren't doing the thing that got them there in the first place, which was exposing, prospecting, recruiting, customer acquisition. And I'm giving you this dire warning because, this isn't the first time I've done it, but this literally came up in conversation just a handful of days ago. It happens all the time. I can sit here, I get to execute this warning every single month. And even people who've heard the warning, because I can guarantee you the person that was being discussed in this conversation had heard the warning because they'd seen me speak multiple times and still didn't heed the warning. And so they ended up laying back for a period of time. And I remember even another one real quick. I have a friend of mine who was a massage therapist. That was her career. Was making an average of $50,000 a year, made $1.4 million in 4 years in her network marketing business. You do the math on that. $1.4 million over 4 years is way more than $50,000 a year. That's $200,000 versus $1.4 million. Got to a point where the team was growing and the check was good, making more money. In her case, hand over fist. I mean, just cranking it in. Thought they'd made it and just went into full-on management mode. And here's the thing, this whole idea of work for 4 years and then retire is more of a fallacy than a reality. So you're not going to hear me ever say, hey, put your head down for 4 years and you can rest and relax for the remaining 40 or whatever years you've got left in your life. It's unfortunate that the industry, the profession has been promoted like that, because I've been doing this for 35 years and I don't know too many. I know literally one guy that took it seriously, and he's like, everybody talked about this, work for 4 years and then retire. So this guy did it. But he worked so freaking hard the first 4 years and built so much depth and so much strength in his organization that he was able to. Now, there are people that are in the position where they could, like a really good friend of mine who, this is one example of one friend, This is the way you should be. This individual has made millions of dollars, is still in the top 5 income earners in her company after many, many, many years. Virtually every time I call her, she's like, hey, I got to call you back, or hey, doesn't answer, sends me a text, I'm on the phone with a prospect, or I'm launching a new rep. And it's not like this individual needs to. They've got layers upon layers upon layers of leaders upon layers of leaders and other leaders. And so even if things began to implode from the bottom up, which is typically what happens in a network marketing company, sometimes from the top down, from the bottom up typically, she still does it. In fact, I asked her why one day. I was like, why? Like, you don't really even need to do this. She goes, yeah, I do. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I feel like I owe it to people that haven't been exposed to network marketing to show it to them, because it's been so life altering for me. So she has never gone into management mode. Not once. I talked to her within the last couple of weeks. Not once has ever gone into management mode. And some of you guys that have followed me for a long time have definitely heard this. This is the way that I phrase it. It's called the kiss of death in network marketing. That's the term I use for it. It's the moment you go from personal recruiting and personal production to just working with the team. And it literally will be the dissipation. It will be the end of your business as you know it. The vertical growth period does not last forever. Eventually, things level out. And if you're not continuing to put new people in and demonstrating that, leading by example, for others to follow, so your team is seeing you do that, other people are going to start to lay back, and eventually it's going to dissipate and it's going to go away. Now, unless you're in a situation where you've developed so many layers of leaders and there's so much depth and there's so much strength in that organization, which is really typically a very tiny percentage of people that have got so many layers of big, high quality producing leaders, that even if it did begin to erode from the bottom up, it's very unlikely that it would ever completely go away. It would still dissipate, but would it completely go away? In very few examples, it wouldn't happen that way. So what's the solution? You just don't go into management mode. And here's the other thing I don't understand. It's like, why would you ever stop recruiting if, because now, it's harder to recruit when you haven't made any money yet and you're trying to prove it to yourself. Now you're making 30 grand a month. It's way easier to recruit people at 30 grand a month than when you're just starting. It's way easier. You have the swagger, you've got the confidence, it works, it's proven, you've proven it to yourself. And let me tell you something, the moment you go from not making money to proving to yourself that, wow, okay, it's real. I remember the day that I got my first 13,000 and change check, and it was like, oh, wow, this works. I get it now. My belief skyrocketed. I had a degree of belief, but my belief went to a completely different level when I had the proof in the pudding, right? I had enough belief to take the action up until that point, but it really skyrocketed my belief the moment that I saw the first, what I would say, significant check. I had a couple other checks before that were good, but that was like, wow, good 5-figure check there, holy smokes. So again, what's the solution? The solution is you don't go into management mode. You always stay recruiting. And I'm not saying you have to be the top recruiter ever. It'd be good if you are. That's cool. But you're 8 years into your network marketing career. You may not be recruiting monthly the numbers that you recruited in year 1 and year 2 and year 3, but you never go to zero. You never go to zero if your intention is to keep that check moving in the right direction. So just some words, some thoughts for you today. I hope you take this seriously, because there are things that I've said over the years that I feel like I shouldn't have to say again, but because I'm still witnessing it happening all the time, people are continuing to make that mistake. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe they just haven't heard the message, or maybe they ignored the message. I don't know. But don't ever go into management mode. It'll absolutely crush. It'll kill your business. And also, real quick, before I go, if you know you could be doing more in your business, you're ready to step up your game, you're ready to play your A game, not your B, C, or D game, you want to be more consistent, you want to be more confident, you want to be more productive, I've got my next A team starting up here next week. And this is an opportunity for me to work with you directly, help you get into really good business building habits, help you become super consistent, have that confidence, learn a ton about what works and what doesn't work in network marketing, what's going to make you money, and what activities to avoid. And the analogy that I always give is like, it's like hiring a personal fitness trainer, but for your business. That's what A Team is. If you ever worked out with a trainer, you're going to do more with the trainer than without the trainer. That's exactly what A Team is. So if you're in a position where you could be doing more, you want to step up your game. By the way, moving into fourth quarter, this is the time to be on the gas. So hiring somebody to get you to do more during the most important parts of the year would be a wise decision. The details are on this page. If you're on my YouTube channel, if you're listening to me on audio, the details on this episode and what I'm talking about with this A Team that's starting here this week, this next week on Monday, is toddfalcone.com/episode 282. 293, toddfalcone.com/episode 293. The details are just down below on this video, and you can see that. Get yourself registered because we're going to be starting soon, and I'd hate to have you on a waiting list and wait till first quarter. So if you know you could be doing more, you want to be doing more, and you certainly don't want to get yourself into management mode, then get yourself registered for this upcoming A-Team. We start on Monday, and I'll help you absolutely crush Q4. All right, have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time.